Let's get started with our first news. Paddy Pimblett says UFC 321 was one of the worst pay-per-views in UFC history. Paddy wasn't impressed at all with what went down that night. He posted a reaction video on his YouTube channel and didn't hold back. "Well, that was an eye poke, was it? That was both eyes as well," he said. "That wasn't just one finger and one eye. Fingers went in both eyes. It's not even like he's just poking him once, lad. He pushed both fingers straight into his eyes. I can't see, lad," Paddy continued saying. "If this does end like this will be one of the worst pay-per-views in UFC history. One of the biggest disappointments ever when it comes to a card." He described the moment saying, "That's nasty the way both those fingers go in there. This fight can't end like that, lad. Tom hasn't fought in 15 months, and the way he's reacting, it looks like he can't see at all. I thought they were gonna pull the fight, and yeah, it's done. Heavy that, as anticlimactic as it gets though. Jon Anik, you're not wrong." Paddy went on to say, "They've gotta run that back. You can't not do that fight again. It was shaping up to be a good one. Probably the best test Tom's had so far in the UFC. He even admitted to feeling bad for Gane, saying, 'I feel bad for him even though it was his fault. It was unintentional. He didn't mean to do it, but still, it's his fault that the fight couldn't continue.'" Paddy finished by calling out the UFC for their long-standing issue with gloves. "They need to do something with the gloves. You can't keep having this happen. Fighters shouldn't be able to extend their fingers like that. It's dangerous, and it ruins fights." Move on to another news. Islam Makhachev has disrespected Paddy Pimblett in a recent interview, and he didn't hold back his thoughts at all. Islam made it clear that he doesn't believe Paddy would be a real challenge for Ilia, and that there are far more deserving fighters waiting for their shot. Speaking confidently, Islam said, "I feel like Arman has to be next. This guy deserves it. He made a mistake before when he was supposed to fight me, but still, he's number one in the division. Maybe Arman, maybe Giga, but not Paddy for sure." Islam didn't stop there. He went on to question Paddy's credibility as a top contender, saying, "Paddy beat who? Tony Ferguson? Chandler? Everybody beat Chandler. Honestly, it's not a big challenge for Ilia." His tone made it clear that he sees Ilia as operating on a completely different level compared to Paddy. Islam continued, "Nobody's checked Paddy before. He hasn't faced real competition. The hype is big, but the skills are not on that level." This kind of statement immediately got the MMA community buzzing. Many fans pointed out that Islam rarely comments on fighters outside his division, but when he does, it usually makes headlines. His blunt honesty left no room for interpretation. He doesn't believe Paddy belongs anywhere near Ilia when it comes to skill, power, or championship mentality. Islam's praise for Arman also stood out. He said that Arman has been earning his way up and deserves the opportunity. According to Islam, Arman has proven himself against top guys. He fights anyone, anytime. That's the kind of fighter who should be next for Ilia, not someone who's just popular online. He emphasized that the UFC should prioritize talent over internet fame, pointing directly at Paddy's name. The comments have added even more heat to the ongoing debate about Paddy's rise in the UFC. While Paddy continues to attract massive attention and fan support, Islam's words have brought the harsh reality back into focus. For Islam, it's all about the competition and the challenge, and he doesn't see either coming from Paddy. In the end, Islam made his stance perfectly clear. Ilia needs someone who can test him, someone who can push him. Paddy's not that guy. Strong words from the lightweight champion, showing once again that he has no problem calling things exactly as he sees them. Move on to another news. Ilia has teased a huge announcement and fans are buzzing with excitement. The undefeated featherweight champion took to social media and dropped a mysterious message that immediately grabbed everyone's attention. Ilia posted on X saying, "Something different is coming tomorrow. Something that also shows who I am outside the octagon. At 10 a.m., I'll be sharing something that means a lot to me and my team." Stay tuned. Those words alone were enough to set the MMA community on fire with speculation. Fans instantly began flooding the comments, trying to guess what the announcement could be. Some believe Ilia might be launching a new business venture or brand, while others think it could be something even bigger, like a new sponsorship, a documentary, or perhaps an official announcement about his next fight. What really caught people's attention, though, was his phrasing, "shows who I am outside the octagon." That suggests this isn't just about fighting. It could be something deeply personal, a reflection of his life, values, or even his journey to the top. Ilia has always presented himself as more than just a fighter. He's shown pride in his roots, loyalty to his team, and a drive that goes beyond titles and fame. So when he says that something meaningful is coming, fans know it's not just a throwaway line. He's been building his brand carefully, balancing his dominance in the cage with a growing influence outside it. This announcement could be the next big step in that evolution. Over the past few months, Ilia has hinted at expanding his impact beyond fighting. He's spoken about motivating the next generation, representing his culture with pride, and using his platform for something greater than just wins and belts. His followers have noticed the shift, from champion to global personality, and now it seems like this reveal might be the moment where Ilia shows the world exactly what that means. With the announcement coming at 10 a.m., anticipation is at an all-time high. Everyone wants to see what Ilia has planned, whether it's a new project, a major collaboration, or a glimpse into a side of him fans haven't seen before. One thing's for sure, when Ilia says something big is coming, he delivers. The countdown is on, and the world will soon find out what the champion has been working on and move on to another news. Umar Nurmagomedov has revealed a huge error in his game following his impressive win over Mario Bautista at UFC 321. Despite earning another dominant victory, Umar faced a rare moment of vulnerability when he was dropped by a sharp knee from Bautista, something that exposed a flaw in his otherwise flawless defense. At the post-fight press conference, Umar opened up about that moment and took full responsibility for the mistake, admitting that it was something he's been warned about for years by none other than Khabib. Umar explained that this wasn't a new problem. It's actually a habit he's struggled with in training for a long time. He said that Khabib constantly reminds him not to lower his level without proper setup, but this time that same mistake nearly cost him. "I've got this glitch in my stand-up defense," Umar said. "I tend to drop down instead of stepping back, and this time I didn't fix it in time. Khabib has been warning me about this during training, and it's something I'll have to work hard to eliminate. My opponents can notice it, and that's dangerous. I need to clean it up 100%. Even though the knee stunned him, Umar showed incredible composure and immediately recovered. Within seconds, he regained control, taking Bautista down and dominating the rest of the fight. That ability to stay calm under pressure reminded everyone why he's considered one of the most technically sound fighters in the division. Still, Umar said that this fight was more than just another win. It was a valuable lesson. "Nobody's perfect," he said, "but I'll keep working until my defense is as strong as my offense." This was a reminder that even small mistakes can change everything in a fight. He also spoke about the moment Bautista went for a heel hook, saying he wasn't worried at all. "It's a position I've been in before at the gym," Umar said. "It's not jiu-jitsu, it's not pure grappling. When someone goes for your leg and you're striking them, it's really hard for them to finish. Plus, I've got decent flexibility, so heel hooks have always been hard to lock in on me." With this victory, Umar remains firmly in the top 5 and may have solidified himself as the next man in line for a title eliminator. The win proved once again that even when faced with adversity, Umar finds a way to adapt, learn, and dominate. Move on to another news. Tom Aspinall has finally broken his silence and gone off on Gane following their controversial fight at UFC 321. After weeks of recovery and speculation, Tom posted a video on his YouTube channel, making it clear that he believes Gane should have been disqualified after the brutal double eye poke that ended their fight in a no contest. Tom didn't hold back, calling the situation outrageous and demanding accountability from both the officials and the UFC. "How's he not disqualified off that? It's outrageous," Tom said. "He already got warned for poking, at least once, maybe twice before that. The ref told him to keep his fingers closed. Then he nearly put me in the eye again before it even happened. And when it finally did, I got double poked in both eyes. Then people start booing me like it's my fault. Why are you booing? I've been double poked in the eye, mate. I've been out for 14 months, training hard, and I didn't want someone's finger knuckle deep in my eye." Tom's frustration was clear as he questioned how something so dangerous continues to happen inside the octagon. What's it gonna take to change something so people don't get seriously injured from these eye pokes? "It's not a hard job. Surely something needs to be done about it," he said. His father also weighed in, voicing his own anger toward the situation and the lack of accountability within the UFC. Speaking in an interview, he said, "The UFC has records of every fight, but I wonder if they keep track of how many people get poked in the eyes or kicked in the groin and the fight just carries on. Some of these fighters win fights after compromising their opponents like that, and everyone forgets about the eye in the end." He continued, "It's horrendous to think about as a parent. I'm not saying Swirl does it on purpose, but it would be useful for the UFC to analyze who does it frequently. Not to ban them, but to tidy up the game, so fighters stop poking people in the eyes or kicking below the belt. Because a lot of fighters do it, get away with it, and still win the fight. Then everyone just forgets what happened." Tom's comments highlight a growing concern in MMA about fighter safety and the ongoing issue of eye pokes. After everything he's been through, it's clear he's demanding change. And this time, he's not staying quiet. Move on to another news. Islam Makhachev has officially called out Ilia to fight at the UFC White House event, and the MMA world is going crazy over it. In a recent interview with ESPN, Islam revealed that he's ready to make history and believes a showdown between him and Ilia would be the biggest possible fight the UFC could host at such an iconic venue. The lightweight champion didn't hold back his excitement, saying that if the UFC really wants to put on a massive event, there's no matchup more deserving than this one. Islam said, "Right now, I don't know who's gonna be next for Ilia. If we talk about our fights, I already have good fights lined up, but I know he's gonna fight soon too. We'll see what's going to happen. He wants to fight in the White House, and I also want to be there." The idea immediately caught fans' attention, a potential crossover between the lightweight and featherweight champions on one of the grandest stages imaginable. That's the kind of spectacle that could break records. Islam continued, "I think it's going to be a big thing for the MMA community. People want this fight. If the UFC wants this fight too, then we can do this. I know the UFC wants to do some big fights in the White House, and honestly, which fight is going to be bigger than this?" His words sent shockwaves through the community, hinting that this might not just be talk, and it could be something already in early discussions. The idea of the UFC hosting a special event at the White House has been circulating for weeks, with Dana White reportedly exploring major opportunities to expand the sport's reach and global presence. But having Islam and Ilia headline that card would elevate it to an entirely new level. It's a champ versus champ scenario that fans have been dreaming about. A technical master like Islam against a striking powerhouse like Ilia. Both fighters are undefeated in their respective weight classes as champions, and both carry massive fan bases around the world. Islam's calm dominance and Ilia's fiery confidence create a perfect storm for one of the most high-stakes fights in UFC history. As Islam put it, people want to see something different, something big. This fight, me versus Ilia, that's the one. If this truly happens at the White House, it won't just be another fight. It'll be a historic moment for the entire sport. Move on to another news. Daniel Cormier has shared what he saw backstage with Tom Aspinall after UFC 321. And his account paints a painful picture of just how bad that double eye poke really was. DC revealed that he ran into Tom only about 20 minutes after the fight ended, and the heavyweight champion was still clearly struggling. According to Cormier, Tom's right eye was completely covered in a bandage, and he couldn't even open it yet. But what shocked DC the most was that the right eye, not the left, looked even worse, despite the left one being the side that took the infamous knuckle-deep poke from Gane. "I saw Tom Aspinall backstage," Cormier said. "His right eye is covered in a bandage because he cannot open it still." And we're about 20 minutes past the fight ending. What's crazy is his other eye, the right one, was actually scraped down more. The left eye was the one where Cyril's hand went knuckle deep, but the right side looked worse. That tells you how bad that whole moment was. Cormier went on to explain that Tom was clearly upset about how the crowd reacted. After the fight was stopped, fans initially booed Tom, thinking he didn't want to continue. But once the replay aired and people saw just how severe the pokes were, everything changed. Tom was really upset that people were booing, DC said. Then the replay showed exactly what happened, and suddenly the crowd turned. People were like, wait a minute, maybe we should be booing the other guy. And then they started booing Gane instead. It was an emotional scene backstage as Tom tried to process what had happened after 15 long months out of the octagon. He had trained tirelessly for his big return, only for the fight to end in such a painful and disappointing way. You could tell he was frustrated, DC added. This wasn't just about the loss of a fight. It was about months of preparation, recovery, and sacrifice, all ending because of something completely out of his control. Cormier made it clear that anyone questioning Tom's toughness or heart simply hasn't seen the damage up close. When you look at his eyes, there's no way anyone could have continued, he said. It wasn't a small poke. It was bad, and you could see the pain written all over his face. DC's first-hand account only reinforces how serious the incident was and why Tom has every right to be furious. It's another reminder that sometimes in this sport, even the toughest fighters can be stopped by something completely unexpected.